Hello, and welcome back to The Sapling. I am your host, Dr. Jelagat Cheruiyot. What if I told you that some people are actually happy to discover termites on their land? You may know them as a small pest with an appetite for wood, but in many cultures, termites in a home aren't an imperative to call the exterminator, but an indication of dinner time. Termites are insects and detritivores that consume a variety of forms of plant matter and have a complex social organization. Termites are eaten in several parts of the world, including Africa, Asia, and the Americas. The preparations are variable. Termites can be eaten raw, they can be prepared into snacks or incorporated into traditional dishes. Termites are abundant and easy to gather during their swarming season. Growing up in our village, Kapkoi, the delicious juicy termites were always a dream after the rains and an exciting moment for all us kids. As soon as the rain stopped, they would emerge from the ground, their glowing wings catching the light and beautifully reflecting back. We would step out of our homes, be greeted by the swarms of termites flying into our faces, our homes, in every imaginable corner. Us village children came alive with excitement. Fires were lit in the small cooking huts or contraptions, and the steam rose from the grass-touched houses. We raced out of our compounds, spilling into pastures, laughing, cheering, grabbing as many termites as our hands could hold and shove into the containers, mostly recycled tin cans. One of the first lessons of termite gathering was the necessity of a tin can. Without it, the hut would descend into chaos as termites attempted to escape into every nook and cranny. Their wings dropped the moment they touched a surface, blanketing beds, food, and floors, as well as your head and clothing in a delicate scattering. Once our tin buckets were filled, we rushed home to pan-fry them over a hot flame. No oil was needed because their own fat was enough. In just a few minutes, they would calm down under the heat, crisp up, and cook. The coal would go out, and it was time to feast. It was also a moment to celebrate the rains and the blessing that such rain would bring to our people. A quick shake and a blow helped remove any remaining wings. Then a sprinkle of salt sealed the deal, a perfect savory snack. Chasing termites was more than just a seasonal tradition. It was a test of speed and precision. It was fun and a moment to be a kid among other kids. In a household with many children but only one fire, you wanted to cook first. Otherwise, you'd spend your time waiting, struggling to keep the termites contained. You had to run fast, pinpoint the heart of the swarm as they burst from the ground, and summon the courage to ignore everything else, because the earth would be muddy and slippery too. As I grew up and went on to high school, I discovered that some of my schoolmates had grown up in parts of the country where termites were even larger than the ones I grew up with. On opening days, they would bring roasted and dried termites to school, crunchy, salted, and fried dry. They would last for weeks as a snack in our boarding school. I loved them and happily traded a couple of other snacks for a handful or a cup of those delicious termites. Now, living in Louisiana has brought a far less pleasant encounter with termites. Here, as a homeowner, we worry about the damage they unleash on our houses, trees, and it is not fun because you're always looking around for signs of termites. On a recent trip to Kenya, I spoke with a family friend, Kiprono. He explains that you can grab them raw and pop them into your mouth, which I found to be funny. I asked him what happens if the termite bites, and he responded, "Bite back." He continued by explaining that at some point, they began to cook termites by lightly frying them, adding some seasoning, and eating them with ugali. Let's talk a little bit about preparing the termites. Frying is the most common method of preparation. Even still, in some African, Asian, and South American cuisines, termites are used as an ingredient in soups, stews, and sauces. They can be added to vegetables, rice, or other grains, and this adds both flavor and protein. In some areas, termites are ground into a paste and used as a spread or ingredient in recipes. This paste is also high in protein and can be used in cooking, much like other nut butters. In Southeast Asia and Central America, roasted termites are sold as street food or included in local dishes. In Thailand, for example, fried termites are sometimes mixed with chili or garlic for added flavor. In the Amazon rainforest and other parts of South America, they are consumed by indigenous groups. In this region, the termites are harvested from the forest floor or from wood and can be prepared in various ways, including roasted and boiled. The termite colonies are led by a queen and king who are responsible for reproduction. Each termite colony contains workers. These are those that forage for food, the soldiers who protect the colony, and nymphs, which are the young termites that will eventually become adults. The life cycle includes eggs laid by the queen, which hatch into nymphs. Nymphs will develop into workers, soldiers, or reproductive adults. Termites are a sustainable and nutritious source of food, rich in protein, healthy fats, and vitamins, including B vitamins. They are an excellent source of essential amino acids and minerals such as iron, calcium, and magnesium. Even so, while termites are nutritious, there are some risks associated with eating them. As with any insect or food, some people may be allergic to termites. If termites are not harvested and prepared properly, they can carry bacteria or parasites. It is very important to ensure that they are properly cooked and processed. In many regions, termites are harvested in a sustainable way, with minimal environmental impact compared to traditional livestock farming. As a result, they are considered a green food source with a lower carbon footprint. As a child, we only harvested termites when they swarmed after a warm, rainy day. We also have to be careful about overharvesting because this can threaten local populations of edible termites. In conclusion, termites, though a taboo to many in the United States, are a highly nutritious and sustainable food source consumed by cultures across the world, whether raw, roasted, fried, or incorporated into traditional dishes. Termites offer a rich protein source and essential nutrients, and their consumption is an ancient tradition that aligns with sustainable eating practices. If you're interested in trying them, they are often available in specialty markets or as part of exotic food offerings. Special thanks to our amazing producer, Jonah Yerman, for all his work behind the scenes. Thank you for listening. I'll be back next week.